Welcome to Arirang Live. It's 11 a.m. here in Seoul, and I'm Kim Dami. In just a minute, we're going to cross over to the latest briefing from the South Korean health authorities on the COVID-19 outbreak. Just before we came on the air, we learned that South Korea has confirmed 49 new cases on Friday. 32 of them are local transmissions, and most of them are related to recent cluster infections from the Seoul metropolitan area. That brings the nation's total number of cases to 12,306. With no additional deaths, the death toll remains at 280. The briefing has just begun, so let's take a listen.
Today we are also joined by Mr. Lee Gang-ho, Kim Soo-sang from the Transport Ministry, Park Jong-hyun from the KCC PR department as well. We also have a sign language translation available. First of all, here is Mr. Son Young-rae on the briefing on the COVID-19 response.
6월 19일
Let us now begin our regular briefing for June 19th, Friday. As of today midnight, we have 32 new local transmissions, and we have 17 imported cases, slightly increasing from the day before, and a total of 49 new cases today. And the total number of confirmed cases now stands at 12,306. A total of 1,191 people are in quarantine undergoing treatment. The death toll remains unchanged at 280. The KCC held a meeting today presided over by Prime Minister Chung Se-kyun. We discussed the issues of the confirmed cases and the quarantine measures put in place in the logistics centers. Prime Minister Chung has said that the infections among the senior citizens could highly likely lead to increased fatality rate. So he asked the ministries to look into the quarantine measures put in place by the facilities frequented by the senior groups. And he also ordered the related ministries to put in place a more stronger ban on gathering for these vulnerable facilities, including the door-to-door sales facilities. And on average, during a day, we have about 43.3 increases of new cases. We still do not have a wide spread of cluster infections. However, sporadic outbreaks continues to occur. And compared to the past, where we had clubs and logistics centers, we are having more channels of religious small groups and these door-to-door business facilities as well. And during the second week of May, the proportion of the middle-aged and the senior age group, which accounted for 12% of the total, has increased slightly to about 55%. And the metropolitan area is on special alert as we witness continuous sporadic outbreaks. And together, cooperating with the Daejeon and the Chungcheong province, we will be inspecting into the facilities. First of all, we will look at the blind spots of quarantine, including the door-to-door sales business establishments, which are non-registered. And we will also carry out a concentrated inspection on the senior citizens' facilities, including welfare centers and long-term care centers, as well as 고시원 and these cram places where elderly people live by themselves. And in case we have a wide range of outbreak, we will be securing the number of hospital beds, and we will also be preparing to establish more life treatment centers going forward. And as for Daejeon and the metropolitan area and the Chungnam area, we will be continuing a joint inspection on these vulnerable facilities. So for details, please refer to the press kit. And together with such efforts, the government will also enhance efforts to introduce a QR code going forward. And after it was implemented on June 10th, about 60,000 places have adopted the QR codes, and more than 1 million people have registered their QR codes. And going forward, we will also expand their use, and we will also expand such use. And as for the QR codes the facilities that use QR codes, they will be not mandated to have a separate visitor log to keep the histories of travel for foreign countries as well. And we will also expand these policies going forward. And next is some of the inspection results for the logistics centers. And together with the Transport Ministry, along with the 6 ministries, we carried out a pan-government inspection on about 4,000 logistics centers. We have seen an improvement in some of the quarantine protocols, including wearing of face masks. However, there were lax following of the quarantine in terms of distancing and disinfection. And we have found about 7,400 cases where we had to put in place administrative orders, and we are also fulfilling this going forward. And in the middle of June, we will continue to carry out further and more in-depth inspection for the facilities that have lacked the follow-up of these quarantine measures. Next is a screening test of the testings for the entry level for firefighters. And on June 20th, we will have a nationwide entry exam, and about 50,000 people are going to take these exams. And we have made sure that they will have their temperature screened before they go into the facilities, and they will keep distancing as they take the test. So far, we have taken a large-scale test, including the entry test for the public officials as well as the teachers. We did not have such an outbreak of the infectious cases, and we will continue to exert our full efforts as we carry out this test for the firefighters. And we are now concerned of the outbreak that is carrying out at the Chungcheong province, and we will be remaining our quarantine efforts to delay the spread of the virus going forward. And as for the major breaches of the quarantine measures, we have the non-tolerance principle, and they will be subject to grave circumstances. However, the government cannot take care and supervise all of the facilities. If you are planning to have a gathering during the weekend, please cancel or postpone your gathering and switch to non-face-to-face alternative. And we have special words for the religious sector. If you have to unavoidably have face-to-face meetings and physical meetings, please wear face masks, and please refrain from having activities like eating together and chanting and singing together that increase the travel of respiratory droplets. And please refrain from having small religious group meetings. Please postpone or cancel them. And during the week, as we have high temperature and a monsoon season, I know that it is very difficult for us to keep by the quarantine protocols. However, please remember that these are the basic protocols that need to be strictly abided by. Please cooperate in our efforts. Thank you very much.
There you have it. We'll bring you more details on the briefing at our upcoming newscast at 12 p.m. Korea time. Bye for now.